And then, of course, runners in scoring position. The Mariners, 343 here in Houston, while the Astros struggling, hitting just 200.
Pitching matchup tonight. It's almost like he's the designated pitcher against the Houston Astros. Taijuan Walker gets the ball tonight against right-hander Brad Peacock, a guy the Mariners have seen a few times.
Well, you're absolutely right. And with Taijuan Walker, he's definitely familiar with the Astros. He's familiar with this ballpark. This is where he made his debut. And in his last outing here in Houston, gives up a couple of home runs early. Springer hits a home run out to left field. And then Gonzalez will come up and do the same thing, able to keep this ball fair. So things a little bit rocky for Taijuan early in the ballgame, but then he settles down and starts getting after the strike zone with that good fastball of his. Eventually he'll go to his curveball, and they were really good pitches for him. That went off the plate. The Astros will strike out a lot. I think if Taijuan can hit the strike zone early in the count, then he can pitch off the edges of the plate, and he should have a good evening again.
Brad Peacock, a right-hander, has had some success against the Mariners. What do they have to do against him tonight?
I think, again, you have to take his fastball away. He wants to throw his fastball early in the count. He typically will pitch away from the hitters. If you're aggressive with him and make him do something different than what he wants to do, I think that would be a big key for the Mariners tonight.
We got a note we want to pass along to you, the best record since the trade deadline. And take a look at this graphic here, and it shows that the Mariners are in pretty good shape at 26-16, among the best in the American League. And the Astros, they played some good ball, too. 2 games over 500.
They played much better as of late, able to get their pitching in line. The Mariners are going to see that here. We have Peacock today, but it's going to be tough over the weekend for him. That's a big reason why. And, of course, the year that Altuve, everything starts with him offensively. He will be in the lineup again tonight.
Well, he's something special. He's the single-season hit leader all time for the Houston Astros. We're going to come back with a wild card update after this timeout as we get you set for the opener against the Houston Astros here at Minute Maid Park. We're back right after this. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting Funny Man and Tool Time King Tim Allen, October 18th. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. By Ford, we are local. And by Alaska Airlines, the most nonstops to the most cities from Seattle. Cloudy conditions here in Houston. Let's bring you the Seattle City Light power play right now. It was a beauty. As big a home run as we've seen the last 7 years, 8 years. Logan Morrison, 3-run jack, and essentially won the ball game last night.
Well, the Mariners couldn't get anything going until that swing by Logan Morrison. He wasn't sure if he had enough of it towards the end of the bat a little bit, but you can see how excited he is. What a big win for the Mariners. You had Felix on the mound, but offensively they just could not get anything going until that big swing by Morrison.
Great moment for Lomo last night. Right now, let's send you to Brett Adam as we continue on the pregame show. Nearby tropical storms as the roof closed here in Houston at Minute Maid Park as the Mariners begin the final 10 games of the 2014 season. They're going to start it here in Houston against the Astros. Welcome, everybody, to Mariner Baseball. The Mariners coming off an emotional and fantastic, wonderful win last night against in Anaheim against the Angels, and they look to continue that good times tonight against the Astros. Let's take a look at the Mariner batting order that will face Brad Peacock.
For Lloyd McClendon leading off, it'll be Austin Jackson. Then Dustin Ackley stays in the lineup. He will hit second. Cano, Seager, and Morales in the middle of the lineup. How about Logan Morris? The game-winning 3-run homer in last night's ballgame. Hit that home run in the 9th inning. Rodney able to come on and get the save. Why not Logan Morris? Over his last 42 games, hitting .311. Then it is Saunders, Zunino, and Miller rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. Take a look at the numbers for Brad Peacock. Good fastball. In the low 90s with his fastball, mixing a curveball and a changeup. 4-8 record on the year. High ERA, 4.80 ERA for him. 110 strikeouts, 64 walks on the season. Opponents hitting .266, and he has given up 17 home runs this year. The defense for the Astros: Grossman in left, Fowler in center, Marisnick in right. Dominguez at third baseman, Villar and Gonzalez playing up the middle. Chris Carter at first base. Jason Castro will do the catching tonight.
Well, here we go. First pitch of the ball game from Brad Peacock. Austin Jackson in there for a called strike one. Umpires tonight: crew chief Brian O'Nora, 17-year veteran, the 5-division series, the ALCS in 08 and the 2012 World Series. As home plate, Hunter Wendelstadt. Here's a line drive, base hit. Look at this. Good start, Austin Jackson. B.J. Rayburn at second, at third, Dan Bellino. Austin Jackson. The Mariners off to a good start. 3 for 15 on the road trip coming in.
Well, just what I was talking about, Dave. Take the fastball away from him. That fastball right down the middle of the plate at 92 miles an hour. Inside out swing by Austin Jackson. Solid line drive. As Marisnick, the right fielder, will get it back in. But it is a good start for the Mariners. We'll see if Lloyd McClendon wants the guys to be aggressive tonight on the bases.
Here's Dustin Ackley. Pitch up high for ball one. Ackley coming off an 0 for 3 yesterday.
After missing a few days with some ankle issues, every day that he's in the lineup, he looks as if he's running a little bit better with every day, so hopefully he's getting healthier.
1-1 to Dustin. Mariners with the win last night. They're 82nd. Gives them their 12th winning season, first since 09. And looking to make the playoffs, as everybody knows. Looking to try to make it for the first time since 01. 1-1 to Ackley. There's a strike. 1-2. Mariners 9-7 against the Astros. They're 5-1 here in Houston.
And they're familiar with Peacock. This will be his 4th start against the Mariners this year. Again, he will throw a lot of fastballs. Typically tries to work away.
One and two. Ackley drives one, but foul.
That time Dustin able to get a hanging slider. You can see it right on the inside corner, but elevated above the belt.
Detroit and Kansas City just underway. Top of the first in Kansas City. Verlander against Vargas in that one. 1-2 pitch here to Ackley. Jackson holds that pitch way outside. And boy, just got into the webbing of Jason Castro, the catcher. 2-2. Tom Lawless took over earlier in the month from Bo Porter, who was fired. Tom, a second baseman during his playing days, Cincinnati and the Cardinals. Got a 2-2 pitch here to Ackley. Foul back. Ackley 4 for 13 against Brad Peacock.
this evening for the Mariners. A lot of the guys probably having to trick their bodies a little bit. Mariners didn't get to the hotel until 6 o'clock in the morning after that big win in Anaheim last night. So I'm sure a lot of guys weary.
Jackson takes off. Pitch swung on. Sent to center field and deep. Cruising back for it is Dexter Fowler. Terrific center fielder. One away. Kudos to our traveling secretary, Ron Spellacy, who arranged to have breakfast waiting for the boys in the morning.
Yeah, he told me that he was going to do that. That is nice.
It didn't go to waste.
No.
Here's Robinson Cano. That was a.
Wonder how many of the guys just grabbed a plate, went upstairs, went to sleep, and then had breakfast when they woke up.
Rick Riz and I sat in there. Ron, a few other guys, Kendrys Morales, and a lot of guys did grab and go.
Yeah.
Here's Robbie Cano, 6th in the American League in hitting. Tied with Miguel Cabrera at 318. Come back, Robbie. 1 for 5 against Brad Peacock. That win last night, seriously, we said we were leaving, I think, before we went off the air. And now our 8th year working together. That's as big a home run that Morrison hit as we've seen, particularly at this stage of the season.
That's what makes it so big. And I think the other thing is, prior to the game, you and I were talking about, we both felt that was a win that the Mariners had to get when you have Felix on the mound with the way that he has pitched in September. He's been just terrific in September. The Angels clinching the night before, so he takes all the regulars out of the lineup, and Felix just mowed through the guys yesterday. You had to find a way to win that ball game, and Morrison coming up with a huge home run. It was big for the guys. You wonder sometimes, what one win or loss will do here and there over the course of the season. Probably not much, but at this point in the season, knowing that Oakland had already lost, you need to take care of your business, and the guys were able to get it done.
0-2 pitch. Cano bouncing ball to the second baseman Gonzalez to VR, and they turn the double play as they get it over to Chris Carter. No runs, a hit. No errors, nobody left. Astros coming up. Glad you're with us here. Root Sports, Mariner Baseball. Back after this. It's one of the bright prospects in Major League Baseball. Just turned 22 years old in August. Taijuan Walker taking the mound against the Houston Astros for the 4th time in his brief career. Let's take a look at the batting order he'll face all evening.
Leading off for the Astros tonight, Robbie Grossman. Then it is Jose Altuve, the DH, and now you can see the .340 batting average. That leads Major League Baseball. What a player in the year he is having. Then it is Carter with his 36 home runs, hitting third. Fowler, Castro, and Dominguez in the middle of the lineup. Gonzalez, Marisnik, and VR rounding out the 9 for the Astros. And for Taijuan Walker on the year, 1-2 record, a 2.96 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 15 walks. Want to stay away from the walks against these Astros. Opponent's hitting just .213. He's given up a couple of home runs.
Astros come in having lost 3 consecutive games to Cleveland. They lose 3 out of 4 against the Tribe here. They went extra innings last night. Lost 2-1. 13 innings. Robbie Grossman. Breaking ball by Taiwan.
A good curveball from Taiwan. I think it'll be interesting to watch him tonight, Dave, to see where his fastball is early. When he was coming out of the bullpen, he was 95, 97 miles an hour. His first fastball in this game, 91. There's one at 96. That is something that Lloyd had talked about that he wanted to see from Taiwan. Be aggressive right away. Give him your best fastball early. We'll see how long he'll go in this one. Again, he's been pitching out of the pen. He did have an outing where he threw 89 pitches and went 6 innings out of the bullpen. Well, we'll see how long he will go tonight. Another good curveball.
Interesting hearing Lloyd talk about, hey, the difference between him as a starter going to reliever, just cut it loose. The same thing he talked about with Mauer. Hey, nothing to think about game plan. Just get in there and bring it. So now he's got to bring the same mentality here when he comes back to being a starter.
Well, you would hope that by now, in that fastball at 95, that he understands that his stuff is good enough. Just don't get too cute with it. Don't fall behind the hitters, and that's one of the reasons why, as you notice, starting the game, pitching out of the stretch. That's something after he was sent down, they decided to do that with him, just to take all that extra movement so that he can repeat pitches. And the thing that we've seen from him coming out of the pen is he's been in the strike zone a lot more, which is good to see.
Makes a difference. He's got a 1-2 count here to Grossman, leading off the home first. Swing and miss. Here's Zunino. Down to Morrison. And just got Grossman. One away.
Good play by Zunino. Once the ball ended up getting away from him to get to it quickly, and a strong throw. Ackley in left field, Jackson in center. Michael Saunders, haven't seen Michael in a few days. He's going to start in right. Seager at third. Miller and Cano playing up the middle. Logan Morrison, the first baseman. And as you just saw, Mike Zunino doing the catching tonight. Take a look at the last play. Grossman hustling down the line. And Mike able to recover just in time to record the strikeout for Taiwan Walker.
Zunino with a great stop on a pitch in the dirt last night. Tom Wilhelmsen, bases loaded.
On a fastball.
Wasn't that huge?
97 miles an hour. It bounced right in front of home plate, and he was able to catch it, believe it or not.
Altuve, leading hitter in the American League. First pitch swing down the line. Extra bases for Altuve. He's something else. Usually first, second pitch, we see him go to work.
Well, no surprise. No surprise for Altuve to swing early in the count. And it's not a surprise to see him get a hit or it be a double. This is 44th double on the season as he hits it right down the line.
My goodness, that's hit number 214 as he continues to extend his club record. Surpassed Craig Biggio at 210 recently. He leads in stolen bases. He's got 53. Leads in multi-hit games. Night batting average is number 1.
See the doubles leaders for the Astros. 44 doubles for Altuve. The next man on the list is Chris Carter, who's standing in the batter's box. When you look at the Astros, they are last in hitting. 12th in runs scored, but they're third in home runs, and a big reason why, the 36 home runs that Carter has put on the board this year.
Second in stolen bases because of Altuve. They were pretty aggressive in the first part of the year. Taiwan Walker, 6'4", 228, born in Shreveport, Louisiana, not too far from here. Grew up in Kaipa, California.
See that curveball. That was a hanging curveball, left it up in the zone, just 75 miles an hour. And with a man as strong as Carter is, you better bury that pitch. He's fortunate to get away with that one.
Remember last time we saw the Astros, Tom Lawless said his strike discipline has improved tremendously. He's short to the ball, too.
Speaking of strikes, Astros strike out more than anybody in the league. You can expand the zone on them. The key is you have to be able to get ahead of them early. And then you can probably make some pitches off the plate. They will chase.
Carter this year with 3 home runs against the Mariners at up high. And for his career, he's got 10 home runs. You remember him as a youngster coming up with the Athletics. 2-2. Altuve at second. Pitch. Breaking ball. Foul back. Taiwan getting the start tonight. First show. Sashi Iwakuma going to push back a day. Elias back in Seattle in medical test. Elbow. Throws the bat head at the ball. Here's Saunders with the catch. Altuve will hold. 2 away. Cramp switch hitter. Center fielder Dexter Fowler.
Astros have struggled this year hitting with runners in scoring position. As a team, hitting .239 with runners in scoring position.
Two outs without Altuve at second. Strike one.
Good to see Taiwan throwing a lot of strikes early on. 15 pitches, 12 strikes.
7th game for Taiwan Walker's 4th start. Good heat. Oh-2 pitch. Upstairs again and missed. Taiwan last year's Mariners minor league starting pitcher of the year. 1-0 with a 3.60 ERA. 3 starts with the Mariners. A couple of them against the Astros. Trying to put Fowler away. 1-2. Up high again.
Hard here in the first inning. Topped out at 97 miles an hour, consistently 96.
Here's a 2-2. Breaking ball. Going back, some trouble. Ackley charging Altuve around, and he bobbles. So Altuve will score. 1-0 lead for the Astros. RBI for Fowler is 34.
After all the fastballs, he comes back with a curveball. And Fowler didn't hit it hard. Little flip shot out into left field. Ackley, knowing that there might be a play, goes right off the end of his glove, maybe peeking a little bit. Altuve runs well. Would have been a close play.
Jason Castro, the catcher.
So one of the things that they went over and they went through the scouting reports is that Taiwan was going to have to work hard to keep the runners close at first. Then the Astros second in stolen bases in the American League.
Quick one to Castro. Long step out by Castro as Taiwan waits. Just up high. 1-1. Not much of a lead by Fowler. Pitch down low. Blocked by Zunino.
That was the first changeup we've seen from Taiwan. Having to throw a lot of pitches now in the first. 22 pitches, 15 strikes for Walker.
Two one. Fowler back easily. Being diligent. Astros, the youngest team in baseball. Run to go. Those pitch foul back. Astros average age 25.7 years of age. Mariners 7th at 27.6 years of age. Two pitch, dribbled foul. And it's reminiscent of a few games that Chris Young had, but pitch count build up early innings with a lot of foul balls.
Right. And I think if you look at the numbers, 24 pitches, 17 strikes. He's throwing plenty of strikes. He's making the Astros swing the bat. It looks like he has good stuff tonight. They're having a hard time squaring him up.
Swing and a miss. Gone is Castro, as the Astros going to run on 2 hits, no errors, and leave a man and lead it 1-0.
Now just keep on going.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. Good pitching matchup. Verlander against Vargas in that Detroit-Kansas City game.
For me, I just didn't feel too good about Vargas in that one. You look at the Tigers in that lineup, you think it would be suited to face a left-hander, and you can see right away Tigers with 3 runs on the scoreboard.
See if the Mariners can respond here in the second with Kyle Seager, Kendrys Morales, and Logan Morrison against Brad Peacock.
And like all the teams in the American League, the Astros will put the shift on with Kyle hitting.
Kyle 6 for 18 with a home run against Peacock.
Straight up in the outfield.
Mike, we're back in the land of the hill in center field. Hope it does not work against the Mariners here in this series. And that's one of your favorite spots in all of Major League Baseball.
Well,
that hill.
Yeah, you and I have talked about it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And you know, it's probably unfortunately, going to take one of the players running up there and getting hurt at one point before they change it. You can see the flagpole is in play out there.
Ball and 2 strikes here to Seager, leading off the Mariners' second.
You know, the thing about it is, and they have the warning track out there to try to help the guys, but when you're an outfielder and you're running, and you have your head turned one way and you're running out towards that center field fence, and all of a sudden that hill comes up on you, you don't expect it. And even if you have the warning track out there, which they have in all the ballparks, obviously up against the fences, you know you're going to brace yourself for an impact into the fence. There, in your mind, you know you can continue to run. But it's just when you hit that hill, we've seen a lot of guys stagger up that hill or even fall.
How can you not? 2-2. Breaking ball. Got him.
So in the 3 games, hopefully Austin Jackson is careful out there.
Start thinking those things when you get in playoff contention. Last 10 games, crazy situation like that. You're not used to it at all. All of a sudden that incline is on you. Like, what the hey?
Hopefully the Mariners pitching will be good enough to where it doesn't come in.
There we go. That's a good way of looking at it. Kendrys Morales 3 for 12, 2 home runs against Brad Peacock. Starts him off with an off-speed pitch, strike 1. Big 2-out single in the 9th for Morales. Helps set the stage along with the James Jones. His speed out there helps set the stage for Morrison to hit the big 3-run homer.
Well, when Jones was able to come and pinch run for Kendrys, we saw the pitching error trying to pick him off at first. He threw it away. Jones ended up going to second. And I think even though when he was out at second base, he's just enough of a distraction. Maybe he got Logan Morrison a better pitch to hit. You never know, but that might have been part of it. There's James. We thought he would have an impact here in September, and he has.
It was a good count for Morales at 3-1. Last night's hero on deck, Logan Morrison. And Morales is on board. First walk by Peacock. Mariners postseason hunt, it continues, and you can get in on the potential October action at Safeco Field with a special Mariners Mail postseason ticket pre-sale. Visit mariners.com/mail by Monday at noon and register for Mariners Mail and a pre-sale opportunity to buy playoff tickets. That web address again to register for the postseason ticket pre-sale is mariners.com/mail. Logan Morrison, the hero last night. Challenged by Lloyd McClendon. He said, that hitting streak you had is nice, but I need 3-run homers. I need run production. Let's go.
He's been doing a little bit more of that lately. 4-game hitting streak for him.
2 biggest home runs of the year. That one and the Dustin Ackley homer on the Sunday against Washington. And Lloyd talking about, hey, he's talking to his coaching staff, we cannot be swept here by Washington. cannot do it. Lloyd had just come back from the
Right.
wedding of his daughter. Hackley had a big 4 RBI day. He had a big 3-run homer. 1-0.
He just missed that one.
You know it.
92 miles an hour, middle end, belt high. Pretty good swing on it.
Let's look at the catch, 2-0.
Take a look at this last pitch. Trying to go outside, he ends up in the middle of the plate. And Logan, you can see him drop the bat in disgust. He knew he had a good pitch to hit and missed it.
I remember that at bat. 2 outs, 1 on. Michael Saunders. First time in 4 days he's played. Back from the DL on September 8th. Michael 2 for 8 against Peacock. Later on tonight, Philly plays at Oakland. Buchanan against Leicester. 2-0. Saunders takes ball 3. Mike Zunino ready for his turn.
Good stuff now. Good stuff.
Quick one. Peacock out of Palm Beach, Florida. Lives in West Palm Beach, Florida these days. He's got a 3-1 pitch. Almost hitting. Couple of men aboard. 2 outs.
So the Mariners will get their first runner in scoring position as Mike Zunino walks up to the plate.
20 home runs. Second to Kyle Seager's 23. Mariner Ball Club. There you have it. These numbers on first pitch. Two out, 2 on opportunity for the Mariners here in the second. All of a sudden, he's lost the strike zone. There's a strike, 1-1. Zunino 0 for 3 in last night's game. One pitch. Breaking ball. Right field. And Moisnick takes care of it, and that'll do it for the Mariners. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a couple of men left. 1-0 Astros. Second here at Minute Maid Park. Luna Family Hearing and the Seattle Mariners have teamed up to give a tip of our cap to our fans 60 and older. When you show a valid ID, you receive a 10% off select main, terrace, and view level seats to any Mariners home game. 3 games remaining, as you know. For details on how you can take advantage of this senior special, log on to mariners.com/specials. Matt Dominguez, Marwin Gonzalez, and Jake Marisnick against Taijuan Walker here in the second. RBI single by Dexter Fowler. Bladed the only run so far.
See if Taijuan can put together a couple of quick innings. Had to throw 25 pitches in the first inning. Stays in play, it will help.
Strike one to Dominguez. The Astros third baseman. Detroit's added to its lead 4-0 in the second inning at Kansas City. Another foul pop. All 2 strikes to Dominguez. .15 home runs. Third on the ball club, 4th in RBIs. Strike 3 called. He is on some brutal road right now. He's 0 for his last 23. Third strikeout in back-to-back case here for Taijuan Walker.
I'll keep him there for the next 3 days. Take a look at this last fastball. Like a little cut fastball. This one, 92 miles an hour. That's what it was, a little cutter. Taijuan has a good fastball going. His four-seamer today is consistently 96, topping out at 97. That 92 cut fastball in the outside corner.
2 strikeouts, no walks thus far. Facing just the 7th hitter. Here's Marwin Gonzalez, the second baseman. 1 for 4. It was a home run against Taijuan. Gonzalez is switch hitter. Been productive against the Mariners so far. As you mentioned, he is attacking, not nibbling.
Let's listen to his manager and his pitching coach.
Rick Waite. Just over the 6'4" Walker for a base hit. Third Astros hit this evening. Bring up right fielder Jake Marisnick.
3 fastballs in a row. This one 95 miles an hour. Take a look at Taijuan trying to react to it.
Here's Marisnick, acquired from Miami back on the 31st of July, 6-player deal. Walker, first pitch strikes, 7 out of 8. Base hit in the left. Ackley will get it back in. So the Astros with 1 out have a couple of men aboard. Stick around after the game for Mariners postgame, presented by Delta Airlines. Bring up Jonathan Villar. Switch hitting shortstop. 4 switch hitters in the starting lineup for Tom Wallace and the Astros. Miller take the double play opportunity. Dug out by Lomo. Good play. And the Mariners turn 2 and get out of a 2-on situation by the Astros, and a good dig at first base. Oh boy, got that done in short quarters. Nice job by Lomo. Family out of Industry, Texas here. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Nice being your home state. Population of 304, Industry, Texas. There's Brad Miller to lead things off in the third, and he likes this ballpark. You'll remember last July 19th of 2013, first 2 home runs. Joined Nick Franklin, the only Mariners with multiple home runs in their first home runs of their career. Franklin had done it in San Diego on Memorial Day weekend. 1-1 to Brad. Brad to be followed by Austin Jackson and Dustin Ackley.
Well, it's obvious the first time through the lineup. Peacock, we knew that he was going to throw a lot of fastballs, but he certainly is more comfortable throwing his fastball. He continues to miss with his breaking ball. That last pitch, it looked like a slider that was well off the plate away. That's a good fastball. Austin Jackson waiting on deck. Austin with the only hit for the Mariners tonight. Solid base hit into right center his first time up.
First inning, Dexter Fowler RBI single. The difference in the game so far. Pop back this way. Breaking ball. Pounded to the second baseman, and Peacock just beats Brad Miller there. Let's check in with Brett Adams. Overlap season's always a lot of fun. No question about it. Thank you, Brad. One out. Austin Jackson, the hitter. Second time through now. Austin with a base hit to right to lead things off. Ball hit down to Dominguez. Easy play tool, right? First time the Mariners came to Houston this series, May 3-4, May 2-3-4. They won 2 out of 3. Then they were back here June 30th, July 1 and 2, and that was a sweep. They scored, beat them 10-4, 13-2, and 5-2, and that's the final visit to Houston this season. Last time I saw it, Houston was back home in Seattle. It's a disappointing series for the Mariners. Won the first game 4-1 and then lose 2-1 and 5-2. Ackley fly ball to centers first time.
If you're the Mariners, you'd really like to get this game if you can. Peacock coming into the game with a 4.80 ERA, and then after that it gets a little bit tougher. Dallas Keuchel, the lefty, going tomorrow. His ERA right at 3, and then McHugh. He will pitch the game on Sunday afternoon. He's at 2.66, and he was pitched well. We've seen him a number of times, and he's really pitched well.
Two-one pitch here to Ackley. Two-two pitch. Breaking ball. Set to left field and deep. It's hit well. Got a chance. It's up. It's gone. Tie ball game at 1-1. Ackley with his 12th home run and 63rd RBI. Right on time to tie this baby up at 1-1. Good opposite field pop.
Well, I'll say it's on a breaking ball. It's only 79 miles an hour. It was on the outside corner, and Dustin was able to go with it. Take another look at it. You can see it on the outside corner. That's some impressive opposite field power. His 12th home run of the year. More importantly, with 2 outs, he's able to tie up the ball game with 1 swing.
Strike 1 to Cano. That is good sight. Cano bounced into a double play his first time. Dustin Ackley with a home run going the opposite way. His 12th of the year. That's his first home run going oppo.
Well, left center field it's friendly here, but it's still a pretty good drive. Only 315 down the line, 362 in the gap out in left center.
1-2 to Cano. Cano with a base hit. The Mariners striking here in the 3rd with 2 outs. Good 2-strike hitting by Robbie.
Bring up Kyle Seager. Now leading the club in home runs with 23, RBIs at 89.
And home run given up by Peacock is 18th. Most on the Houston ball club. Up the middle, there's a solid base hit. Kyle Seager, and again with 2 outs. 3 consecutive hits for the Mariners. Let's take a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Third baseman only. Third baseman only. Jim Presley, Adrian Beltre. This at playing third base, I'm told. So you had
made the list.
You made the list. Evidently, you must have played a couple other positions that year because you didn't get credit as a third baseman. That's what I'm told.
Yeah, I ended up with 96 that year, but I had picked up 5 of them playing first base.
There you go. Good year. And that was what you said, the strike shortened year, about 140.
We had I think it was 144 games that year.
It's a doggone good year, man.
It was a lot of fun that year.
It sure was.
A lot of good hitters in front of me, too. I can tell you that. I think Jay walked over 100 times that year. Tino Martinez the same. Both those guys were on base.
Yeah.
Of course, then you have Edgar and Jr. hitting in the middle of it.
Chance to take the lead here with 2 outs. 1-0 to Morales. Brad Miller grounded out, so did Jackson. Then a home run by Ackley opposite field on a 2-2 pitch. Cano behind 0-2, singled to right, and Seager jumps on a pitch and singles to center. Strike to Kivers, 2-1. Morales walked his first time up. Two and one. See if he can play. How far can you hit it?
That's a good idea. He was in the 2-0 count, and he ended up taking a fastball that was in the middle of the plate. It was down a little bit. Now he's back to 3-1. I don't think he'll take the fastball this time as Logan Morrison waits on deck.
Two on, 2 outs, and a 3-1 count to Morales. And he hits it right to the shortstop. Oh, brother. Tough break. Hit it on the money. A run on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. Mariners have tied it up on the Ackley home run at 1-1. On Root Sports, being brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By Seattle City Light, visit seattle.gov/repower for more information. And by Jack in the Box, right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. Final 10 games of the season. Mariners in a playoff push. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports Crew. Dustin Ackley's tied it with a home run going opposite field. His first opposite field homer of the year. Home run number 12 in the campaign. And Taijuan Walker, he's got the top of the order for the Astros. Grossman, Altuve, and Carter. Robbie Grossman struck out, leading off the home first. Two and one. Put in between. 2 and 2.
I don't think that it's something that Taijuan will do for the rest of his career, but it sure has made a difference for him this year, and that is to pitch out of the stretch the entire time. Thrown 40 pitches, 30 strikes, and that was an issue when he went to the full windup. So they just simplified things for him, and it's made a big difference. I was wondering if maybe he would lose some velocity doing that, but that hasn't been the case. He's topped out at 97.
Another big influence on him with regard to that, David Price. He walks Grossman to lead off the third. That's his first walk. Take a look at the remaining schedules as we come down the stretch, and down the stretch they come.
It's interesting to look at it now. I think that when I was looking at this earlier, one of the things I felt that was going to be an advantage for the Mariners. They have the Angels at home. The Angels have already clinched. So those will be some important games, but maybe the Angels take foot off the gas pedal a little bit. But then you can see the A's. They have the Phillies in town. They've struggled this year. The Angels, as we mentioned, just clinched. And then the Rangers, who have really struggled. So it'll be interesting to see what the A's can do, although the A's are not playing good baseball right now.
Goodness. That parachute's not working. Hit and run. A beauty.
Altuve.
Shocking. First pitch.
He's in the middle of everything.
Good player. We've seen it before over these last couple of years. Now, first, second pitch, he's ready to work.
You can see it showing the sign. 215 hits for him on the year. We talked about him being aggressive. This first pitch right here, it's a fastball. It's going to be up out of the strike zone, and he's still able to get to it, almost on his toes trying to get to it.
That's how Drew Brees finishes off a pass to get up on his toes.
Hand-eye coordination is unreal with him.
Phenomenal. Now you got their power source here, Chris Carter.
Carter flew out to right his first time up.
All one. Two on, nobody out. It's stopped by Zunino.
Taijuan better keep an eye on Altuve at first. 53 stolen bases on the year for Altuve.
Big pitch here, 2-0. Altuve got a walking lead, and he's still second standing up. 54th stolen base.
This was way too easy. You have to make him stop, and he never does. Walker never stops him, and that's an easy steal. That will take the double play away from him. Mariners lead their infield back. They're willing to give up a run for an out right here.
3-1 to Chris Carter. Altuve's 54 stolen bases, second only. Check that third to Gordon and Hamilton over in the National League. Did not go as they appealed to Hunter Wendelstedt. That has loaded him up. Well, that happened in a blink, didn't it?
Well, it was a walk, and then first pitch swinging Altuve on the hit and run makes it first and third, and comes right back and walks Carter, and that'll bring out Rick Waits.
Talking to Lloyd before the game, talking about how last night Phillies, how great he was, and every inning is a high-pressure situation. Felix came out after 8. He says, I'm done. Nothing left. And both Felix and Lloyd talked about how obviously important it was, and what you, backing up your point about how dangerous it was having all those second-line players in there, looking to get hacks against a premier pitcher.
Right.
And Lloyd said the game scared him to death when he saw that lineup.
I didn't like it when I saw it, I'll be honest with you, because Felix had really been pitching well against the normal Angels lineup, and then they have that change.
Strike one to Fowler. The other thing Lloyd said was pretty interesting, that I looked over in their dugout, and Pujols, Kendrick, Trout, and Ibar never moved, never stretched. So he said, I think we'd be all right in the 9th inning.
And the only regular that came in the game was Calhoun.
Yeah.
No, I think Socha gave them the night off, and they were going to get it. The game didn't mean anything to him, so.
1-1 here. Nobody out. Tight spot here for Taiwan and the Mariners. Fowler got a single and a breaking ball and drove in Altuve in the first inning. Pat Listash coaching at third. Tarek Brock at first for the Astros. Your base runners, Grossman, Altuve, and Carter. Two and two. Two pitch swung on and fouled into the glove of Zunino. Big strikeout. One away. It's Taiwan's 4th K of the night.
Elevated fastball, 95 miles an hour, borderline strike, but he gets Fowler to swing at it. Big strikeout. Now a double play will get him out of the inning.
Jason Castro, a strikeout victim, ending the first inning. Mariners have already turned one double play. They've got him out of the second. Ball one. Back with the strike. This inning, going to walk in a 3-2 pitch. Hit and run single, set up first and third. A walk to load him up, and a strikeout of Fowler. 1-1. Good heater at 96. It's Walker to 1-2 against Jason Castro.
Go to Fowler, and now Castro the fastball. He's elevating the fastball. He was able to get first strike on a changeup. See first pitch strikes tonight. 10 of them out of the 14 batters he's faced.
One and two. That is a foul ball. Oh. .21 pitches here in this inning for Walker. Swing and a miss. Heated him up and struck him out. Strikeout number 5.
So both strikeouts in the inning. Elevated fastballs. This one at 96. Again, borderline up.
Eat 'em up, eat 'em up.
Just a late swing. The left-handed hitters are going to have a tough time catching up to his fastball at the top of the strike zone like that. He has a good one going tonight, and I think he's throwing it up there on purpose, top of the zone.
1-1 to Matt Dominguez. Took a cold third strike to lead off the second inning. Here's the third baseman. Did well, but it's going to stay in the yard. And Taijuan Walker does a great job to pitch out of trouble. A couple of walks, 2 strikeouts, leaves him stranded. 1-1 game. Redmond, Washington, here in Houston. Time now for a CenturyLink link to what's next. And in Game 2 and Game 3 of this series, we'll see the veteran Chris Young. Great year for him against Dallas Keuchel. Dominant in his last outing, Dallas Keuchel. And Hisashi Iwakuma looking to get back on that good trail that he was on earlier in the year. Colin McHugh has been a tough hombre for the Mariners this year.
He has been. The key to all of that right there is Iwakuma, in my mind, his last couple of outings. Really a struggle for him. And this is not the time of the year that you need that, so hopefully he can get things figured out with his side work.
What is it, the last 2 games, he's actually walked 2 guys in both of those last 2 starts.
Yeah, which is unheard of for him this year.
Logan Morrison, Michael Saunders, and Mike Zunino here against Brad Peacock. Momo just missed one last time up. Had a man aboard, 1 out. Pitch he liked and skied it. Didn't drive it the way he preferred. He's behind 0-2. Astros took the lead in the first inning. 2-out single by Dexter Fowler, but then in the third, 2-2 pitch with 2 out. It was Dustin Ackley homering to left field.
You know, one of the things that Rick Waits will probably talk about with Walker is, yeah, he ended up walking a couple of batters to get himself in trouble, but did a great job of pitching out of that trouble, and that's something that you want to see from your young starters. Get in trouble, how do they react to it? They did an excellent job. He's able to locate his fastball at the top of the strike zone, mixed in a few change-ups.
Tigers have just upped the lead to 5-0 at Kansas City, top of the 4th. Hogan's able to check his swing. Casey Coleman just replaced Jason Vargas, so your call on that one was spot on. Detroit 5-0 top of the 4th. Vargas started. He's been chased. Verlander on the mound. No runs on 3 hits for Detroit. Omo right at the shortstop. There's VR. Off the bag. He's safe.
I was watching VR the entire time. A little casual. We've seen that from him before. And Logan Morrison always hustling. And he runs well for a big man. I think VR surprised him. He looks up. There it is. And right about there, he panics. Tries to put a little extra on the throw. And that would bring Chris Carter, the first baseman, off the bag. So a break for the Mariners. See how long he takes.
The Mariners have done a good job over the last month or so taking advantages of opportunities like that.
Dominguez playing even with the bag at third. I don't think Saunders would sacrifice, but he could certainly bunt for a base hit.
It's a strike. That error by VR is 17. Fooled on that pitch. 0-2. Pitch to Saunders. Goes the line. Rondo with 6 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Hasn't gone yards since July 7th. Pounds this one off the glove, the leg there of Carter. Morrison will hold. There's another door opening opportunity for the Mariners.
A couple of breaks, back-to-back errors.
So 2-error inning here by Houston. Mariners got to capitalize.
Take a look at Carter coming off the bag. The fielding isn't his strong suit. I don't even think he put a glove on it. I think he hit him right on his knee. Completely missed it.
It was a kick save.
And for Logan, he tried to look back over his shoulder as he was running the bases. I think that's a situation where you'd like for him to pick up Donnelly at third to help him out a little bit. He thought about going to third, but wasn't quite sure where the ball was. But a great situation for the Mariners.
Mike Zunino. Nobody out, 2 on. Shows bunt, takes ball 1. No sacrifices.
I was getting ready to ask you. I don't think we've seen him try to bunt this year.
I know, I'm stunned. That's a first, everybody. You just witnessed it. Mike Zunino squared around the bunt.
Well, after missing with that first pitch, maybe you'll let him swing here on a fastball.
One to Mike. Zero career sacrifices.
Not surprised.
Absolutely not surprised.
And I'm pretty sure when he was at Florida, he wasn't asked to bunt either. He was all world at Florida swinging the bat zone.
I want your bunt to be about 400 feet, pal.
Bunted into the parking lot.
Wow. Probably since Little League, right? Even then, he was probably the biggest kid on the team. That's what we're talking about. Giddy up, baby. Look at Mike Zunino. 3-run jack.
I thought he was going to hit the train.
Take advantage of 2 big mistakes. Mike shows bunt and goes boom. You gotta love it. Z with his 21st home run takes his RBI total to 57.
I really believe that him squaring around ended up getting him a good fastball to hit. I think at that point Peacock in a 2-1 count just wanted to throw a fastball down the middle and let him try to bunt it.
Oh, man.
See if it hits the train. It's up there by the railroad tracks.
That's a beautiful sight.
Yeah, right off the concrete wall up there.
Yeah, he can bunch.
He tried to bunt it into the parking lot, didn't he?
Wow. That is something.
I bet that most of the guys talking to him right now, they're not saying anything about the home run. They're on him about him trying to bunt.
No doubt. No question about it. They're riding him hard, too, right? Not every day you see bunts in order. You're surprised you got a guy with 20 home runs, and then he cranks one.
And he's never had a sacrifice bunt. I think that's the reason why Peacock just threw that fastball right down the middle as Brad Miller strikes out.
Because remember, in the past we've talked about guys in bunt situations and they can't throw a strike, right? Remember, the ball's high, it's low, it's inside.
The other thing too, and I like the thing I like about it is a lot of times, and I said it when Mike squared around the first time and the ball was thrown for a ball, that sometimes managers will take it off right away,
right,
knowing that the pitcher is going to try to throw the next pitch down the middle, so give him a free swing at it and see what happens. Well, Lloyd decided to wait till the 2-1 count came, and there you go. Room service fastball.
That it was. We've seen Ibar show bunting and Butcher Boy. Now we've seen Zunino show bunting in a home run. Stick around, we'll see some more.
Well, I like it.
And he with his 21st home run.
To ask him if that's his best ball. I would have thought he'd have been able to hit one of those pumpkins in the train. 1-2-1 home run. He's going to be in the 20s, maybe even reach 30 as the longer that he goes.
I agree. Yeah.
He's something. There you go. Those oranges.
All right, that oranges. Yeah, you had the right color.
All right.
You had the right color.
You and I have talked about it a lot. You mentioned it. Mariners taking advantage of mistakes. Back-to-back errors. Into 3 runs for the Mariners.
Jackson works a walk and a 3-1 count.
Strom, the pitching coach, heading out to the mound now. Peacock at 75 pitches as he works here in the 4th inning. His last outing was against the Mariners. That was back on the 8th, so it's been a while. He had a back issue in Seattle. They took him out of the game after 5 innings. Now he's having to throw a lot of pitches here early.
3rd consecutive inning, 20 or more pitches.
Jake Buchanan going to get loose. I'll bring up Dustin Ackley. Ackley with a home run his last time out. He went opposite field over towards left center for a home run, his 12th home run on the year. See if Austin Jackson decides to steal a base.
A lefty hitter up. It's helpful.
And the Astros probably a little bit of shock. Maybe you can surprise him. Take a look at the home run by Dustin Ackley. He gets a breaking ball away from him. It's only 79 miles an hour, so he has to provide a lot of the power as it goes up into the seats.
0-1 to Ackley with Jackson at first. Ball one, 1-1. Tim Hevley, our Mariner Director of Baseball Information. You've got me curious. Zunino, 4 sack bunts as a freshman, 2 as a sophomore, none as a junior. Throw down to second. Jackson.
Oh, I thought maybe he was able to slide under the tag. It was a poor tag by VR at second base. And Lloyd McClendon coming out of the dugout. Let's take a look at this slide and where he tags him. The ball.
He's safe.
He's safe. That was a poor tag, and he is safe.
We have no McDonald Supermo here in Houston, but boy, that looks good enough for me.
That was clear, and they're going to take a look at it.
DJ Rayburn, the second base umpire. Thanks to Tim Hevley for passing that along about Zunino. Zunino, 4 sack bunts as a freshman, 2 as a sophomore, 0 as a junior. Way to go, Hev. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, that's 6 more than I thought he had.
Yeah, I think everybody watching would agree with you on that one.
We'll take another look at the slide by Jackson. It looks pretty obvious to me that he's safe. Unless he was. I think sometimes umpires can get fooled a little bit too. At this level, those guys are so used to seeing the snap tag by the best middle infielders in the planet, and that tag was a little casual, I thought, by VR. Slow tag, and I think the umpire anticipated getting the ball down a little bit quicker. And it looked to me as if Jackson was able to get his foot in there. We'll see, but I thought that he was able to beat it because of the slow tag.
Some of those guys, they slap that tag. They can hurt you with that tag, can't they?
Well, yeah, and it's quick. We've seen it with Cano. Cano's really good at it. He'll put it on you in a hurry. And second play in this inning, VR just a little casual out there. You mentioned 17 errors.
If that stolen base stands up, that'll be number 19 for Jackson. We're taking a good hard look at it in New York. We have a verdict. Safe. There you go. Jackson, his 19th stolen base. Another opportunity for the Mariners. Just joining us in E6 by VR. Got Morrison aboard. Saunders reached on an E3 by Carter. Zunino showed bunt, took it to a 2-1 count, and then hit a monster home run, a 3-run shot for the left center field wall. Miller since struck out. Jackson walked and has now stolen second, and a 2-1 count here to Ackley. And he's got a 3-1 count. Time of the review, 1:55.
And this next pitch will be 80 for Peacock as he works here in the fourth. Back-to-back errors certainly didn't help him with his pitch count.
Set the table for the Mariners. 3-1. And works a walk. So back-to-back walks. See if they're going to come get him. That is the 4th walk of the ballgame by Peacock. Well, Cano has an opportunity to do some damage here in the 4th. 1 out, 2 on.
It's in 1 for 2 tonight. Solid line drive, base hit into right his last time up.
Good speed out there, Jackson and Ackley. Through the hole, base hit. Jackson to third. Up with it at Grossman. The throw to the plate. Not in time. RBI, Robbie Cano. That's number 900 for his career. Didn't waste any time. Mariners have a 5-1 lead.
And they continue to take advantage of mistakes. After the home run by Zunino, a couple of walks. And Robinson Cano makes him pay for it. Fastball on the outside corner, just going with the pitch. Finds a hole on the left side of the infield, and it looks like that base hit will do it for Peacock.
A terrific fourth inning by the Mariners. 2 on, 1 out. 3-run homer by Zunino. RBI single by Robinson Cano. 5-1 lead. Jake Buchanan will take over. Back after this. Here in the first of 3 here in Houston. But McClendon tagging Austin Jackson just scored on the Cano single. Brad Peacock, night's over.
Tough outing, 3 1/3, just 6 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them were earned. Again, number of mistakes by the Astros playing defense behind him. He did have 4 walks, that cost him 2 strikeouts. He threw 81 pitches. Jake Buchanan is going to take over, his 15th appearance on the year. ERA over 5, 16 strikeouts, 10 walks. Opponent's hitting .302, and he's given up 3 home runs this year.
Kyle Seager will be his first hitter. Kyle, the 8th man to swing the bat here in the 4th. You got Ackley at second, Cano at first. 3-run homer by Zunino. Cano an RBI single. Seager a strikeout and a single to center.
And the Astros will put the shift on again with Kyle hitting. Look at the defense. A lot of room on the left side of the infield.
And oddly enough, they pitch him that way and misses by a mile. Two-0 to Seager. Buchanan, second stint with the ball club. Came back on July 18th from AAA Oklahoma City. Seager drives one deep right center field. That baby's going. And the catch is made. No, it's not. It's out of here. Great effort by Marisnick. A 3-run jack by Seager. What an inning. What an inning by the Mariners. Pouring it on. 8-1 lead. Kyle Seager, home run number 24, makes his RBI total to 92. And again, the door was opened by more mistakes.
Take a look at it. Puts a good swing on it after missing with the first 2 fastball. Kyle looking out over the plate. You look at Marisnick go up on the fence trying to bring it back, but it's over his glove. What an inning.
9th man to the plate. Here's Morales.
Another look at Marisnick as he goes up to the fence. Just enough room for Kyle to clear the fence, and Buchanan.
398 feet.
There you go. I was in 3rd place. Now he's knocked me down to 4th. Look at that.
Still on the board.
I won't be by the time his career is done. I can tell you that.
No question.
Yeah. He'll have a lot of years where he's going to be 90 plus.
Two and 2 here to Morales. What a great formula. 2 3-run homers here in the 4th inning. They did go. And Morales strikeout victim. There's 2 away.
Well, that'll bring up Logan Morrison. He's the one that started all of this. It looked like it was just a routine play to shortstop. Logan was running hard, and Villar, the shortstop, made a bad throw to first. He was able to beat it out. It was an E6. He scored the first run in this inning.
10th man to the plate. Marson bounces one foul.
Take a look at this last pitch. It looks like it ends up behind Morales as he swings at it. Actually goes between.
Sure did.
Yeah, right through his legs.
Not seen that before.
I don't think I ever have either.
That one's well stroked. Base hit. Logan Morrison. Checking with Brad Adam. What do you have, Brad? Okay. All right, Brett, thank you. That Star Wars phenomenon has come back with a vengeance. And I'm still trying to figure out why. Phillies have 2 men aboard against John Lester in the 1st inning. Meanwhile, this inning, 26 minutes long, is the Mariners. Their 11th man to the plate, Michael Saunders.
Strange looking at my scorecard right now. 2 errors, 2 walks.
2 3-run jacks.
A couple of homers. Yeah, a couple 3-run homers.
Not bad.
Both errors and both walks score.
Taiwan's got a big cushion. Stay loose.
He's been in the dugout for quite a while.
Coming up on a half hour. Crowded Saunders.
Good count for Michael. See if he can get a fastball that he likes. 3-1 count. of the keys to this series. Take advantage of the Astros pitching. It's been a struggle for them. They are 12th in ERA, and the Mariners doing that.
Saunders will take the walk.
I'll bring up Mike Zunino. Mike with his 21st home run, a 3-run home run after the 2 errors. Mike tried to bunt a couple of times, ended up in a 2-1 count. Lloyd McClendon taking the bunt off, and might get the next pitch off the wall out in left center field. Almost hit the train out there. Chance to hit another 3-run homer right now.
Why not? 12th man to the plate. Seven runs this inning. Was thinking.
Yeah, that started him off with a slider.
One, 2 to Mike. First time up, fly to right, and a 3-run homer earlier in this inning. Oh, 2. Strike 3 called. 12 men to the plate, 7 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and a couple of men left. A great inning for the Mariners, who lead 8-1. Been here in Houston, first of 3. So we take a look at our Delta Airlines. Keep climbing wild card standings. And the Mariners start tonight a game off the pace. And the Tigers just went to a 10-0 lead at Kansas City. Here's who the wild card winner will play. And right now that'd be the Angels. There's a look at your remaining schedules. Well, I tell you, the Angels, I think they're going to finish with the best record.
I think that they will too.
Best division in baseball. Taijuan Walker could not have asked for anything more. 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 4 hits, 2 errors, and they left 2. Bottom third of the order. Marwin Gonzalez, the second baseman, followed by Jake Marisnick, the right fielder, and Jonathan Villar, the shortstop. In that fourth inning, 2 3-run homers, Anino and Kyle Seager.
Well, right now for Taijuan Walker, just continue to throw strikes. 62 pitches, 41 strikes for Taijuan. I think we'll see him get even more aggressive with his fastball. That's a good fastball right there. Very cut fastball off the outside corner.
28 minutes for the top of the fourth inning. Two and two. Bouncing ball to Morrison. Walker covers. One away. It could all come down to next weekend as the Mariners take on the Angels at Safeco Field. Pivotal 3-game series starts Friday the 26th with Fan Appreciation Night. Continues on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Let's pack Safeco Field for a memorable weekend of Mariners baseball. For tickets, visit mariners.com. Yankees just defeated Toronto 5-3. Behind Kuroda, who beat Burley in that game. Strike one to Marisnick. Single to left in the second inning, erased in a double play. Breaking ball. Strike two. Popped up. Fred Miller will take control. 2 away. Now time for you to tweet your photos using the hashtag MarinersFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown later in the game. Brought to you by AT&T. John Lester had 2 men on, 2 Phillies on in the first inning. He was able to get out of it. Skipper Lloyd McClendon relaxing just a little bit here. Maybe a lot of bit with an 8-1 lead. Big right-hander throwing strikes. Got 2 quick counts. Here's a strike with Jonathan Villar.
And I doubt that Lloyd had a lot of sleep. Again,
he did.
Getting to the hotel at 6 in the morning, and the manager usually the first one at the ballpark. Huh?
He said, boy, the coaching staff, we're all dragging. He said, these players, they're all right. They're recovering. We're dragging. It's the pick-me-up they needed.
Yep,
8-1 lead. That's a good big boy fastball there, huh? Strikes out. Jonathan Villar and goes 1-2-3. That's the response you're looking for after a long inning as he enjoys an 8-1 lead. Taijuan Walker. take off for Toronto. We take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. And there's your Toronto trip still to come. And then the final 3 games of the regular season. And fingers and toes and everything crossed for some postseason action next week, the following week. Right now, the
last series at home is going to be interesting on how Socha plays it. If these games mean something for the Mariners and what he decides to do with his club, trying to get ready for the postseason. He also wants to keep him sharp, but it'll be interesting to see what he ends up doing.
Brad Miller to lead it off here in the 5th.
Hopefully he feels that his guys are still tired. Keep him sitting over there on the bench.
1-1 to Brad, Austin Jackson, and Dustin Ackley in the 5th. That's a fair ball. Friendly hop to Carter. One out. Fourth time around now, Austin Jackson, top of the order. 1 for 2 with a walk. Run scored and a stolen base. Just joining us, you missed a treat. 4th inning went 28 minutes for the Mariners. 12 men to the plate, 7 runs, 6 of the runs earned, 4 hits, 2 errors capitalized on by the Mariners. And they left 2. That's a base hit for Austin Jackson, his 2nd tonight.
And we get a base hit on a breaking ball. Take a look at it. Breaking ball ends up in the middle of the plate, inside out swing. And he picks up his 2nd base hit. I don't think he'll run now with the score 8-1. Bring up Dustin Ackley. Ackley is 1 for 2. His 1 hit, a home run. His 12th home run of the year. He scored a couple of runs.
The beauty of that home run, he went opposite field. First time he's done it this season. In that long 4th inning, 2 3-run homers, Zunino and Seager. Jake Buchanan, he's on a relief of Brad Peacock. Detroit right now 10-0, bottom 5. Tigers have 15 hits in support of Justin Verlander.
And another good count for the Mariner hitters. There's a lot of good counts to hit in tonight.
Comebacker. 1-6-3 double play. And that'll do it for the Mariners in the 5th inning. They lead 8-1. Capital One Share Builder with the Seattle Mariners is proud to support and benefit Seattle Children's Hospital with its Saves for Kids program. For each Mariners save, Capital One Share Builder will donate $1,000 to Seattle Children's Uncompensated Care Program. Capital One Share Builder Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
First pitch fastball to Grossman. And he jumps on, lines it into right field for a solid base hit.
Brings up Altuve. He's 2 for 2 tonight with a stolen base.
.215 hits on the year.
Actually took a first strike.
I was thinking the same thing.
And 215 hits, most in baseball. Hunter Pence, the Giants, leads the National League entering today's action.
Good number for Taijuan Walker. 20 batters that he's faced, 15 first pitch strikes. Nobody throwing in the Mariner pen. Taijuan now 73 pitches, 51 strikes overall.
This is working out well. We got Taijuan pitching tonight. Young and Iwakuma give them an extra day's rest. So far, so good for this plan here. Second stint of this road trip. Oh, 2 to Altuve. Chris Carter on deck. Through the hole. This guy's a hit machine. 3 for 3. 216 on the season. And that's on an 0-2 pitch.
Pitch is in the middle of the plate, and it is down at the bottom of the strike zone.
There's Chris Carter. '24th 3-hit game for Altuve, a franchise record. Some kind of impressive. It's his 66th multi-hit game. Putting his name in the same sentence with some great players. Earlier, as here's Miller shoveling to Cano. Easy does it on a double play. Grossman the third. First, make that the second double play turned by the Mariners tonight.
Fastball in on the hands of Carter. It jams him. An easy 2-hopper to Miller, and Cano will take care of the rest.
Earlier, Altuve with 215 hits, most by a second baseman since Rod Cruz 218 back in '74. And then just now that hit tied him with Maglio Ordonez for the most hits by a Venezuelan player in a season. 2 outs, man at third. Dexter Fowler, the hitter.
Dexter, a base hit. He's driven in the 1 run for the Astros. He also has a strikeout.
1-1. Mariners scored 13 runs on Tuesday, blowing out the Angels. You see him. Some offense after some drought periods as Fowler chases. One hit by the Angels on Wednesday. Tonight, 8 runs on 9 hits.
throwing hard. 97 miles an hour on that last fastball up out of the strike zone. Taiwan now at 82 pitches.
Foul back. Mariner RBIs tonight. Ackley, Cano, 3-run homer Seager, and a 3-run homer by Zunino. Two-two pitch. Lined into right field for a base hit. We'll make it 8-2. Fowler with his second hit and RBI. Receiver.
Taiwan stayed up in the strike zone with his fastball, and Fowler was having a tough time getting to it. That last pitch was a good fastball at 95 miles an hour, but it was at the bottom of the strike zone, so he just drops the barrel on it to pick up a base hit.
Jason Castro struck out twice. Easy ground ball to Cano. And the Astros are retired to get a run on 3 hits, no errors, and leave a man. 5 completed here in Houston, 8-2 Mariners. On Root Sports, being brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By American Family Insurance, your dream is out there. Go get it. Find out more at amfam.com/dreams. And by your Northwest Buick dealers. Good night from Mariner offense here in Houston. First of 3 as you look at the exterior. Train station and Minute Maid Park, 8-2 lead for the Mariners. 2 3-run homers in the 4th inning for the Mariners. Zunino and Seager with Cano chipping in an RBI. 12 men to the plate. 28 minutes it took for that half inning. They blew this game wide open. Here's Cano to lead off the 6th, followed by Seager and Morales. A's have taken a 1-0 lead at home against the Phillies. They play in the bottom of the 2nd inning in Oakland. Inside to Cano. 2 for 3 night. Bounced into a double play, single to right, RBI single in the 4th. Chop foul. That low to Robbie. With that base hit, 2 base hits, gives him 180 on the season. Started today 4th in that category. Altuve, Michael Brantley, and Miguel Cabrera ahead of him. No, line drive, a 3-hit night.
Keep pace with Altuve tonight.
Yes, he is. That's Cano's 56 multi-hit game. Look at the National League playoff picture as it stands right now. Dodgers crushed Chicago today, the Cubs earlier. Wild card race. Giants. And the Pirates right now in charge. How about the fall of Milwaukee? My goodness, they had a lead of upwards of 10 games there for a long time, and they have come back to earth with a thud.
Oh, Bruce Bochy and the Giants, always in it.
Yep, pitching and defense.
We'll see if Kyle can add to his night. Hit his 24th home run his last time up. He now has 92 RBIs on the year.
The Giant Ball Club, you're talking about 4th in hitting, 4th in ERA. Seager takes a strike behind 0-2. Into Kyle. 1-2. And hit by Cano gives the Mariners 10 on the ball game. In the Dodger win today, 14-5 at the Cubs. Kershaw won his 20th. He's 20-3 with a 1.80 ERA, and he missed April with an injury. Play opportunity, and they convert. 3rd one turned by the Houston Astros.
Wasn't sure if it was hit hard enough to turn it. I knew they would get the lead runner in Cano, but VR has a strong arm and just gets Kyle at first base. Bring up Morales. Morales 0 for 2 tonight. He walked in the 2nd inning, rounded out to short in the 3rd, and had a strikeout swinging.
Ball 1 to Kendricks.
Brandon Maurer starting to get loose.
Two 0. Foul ball. 2-1 to Morales, and he takes ball 3. Logan Morrison on deck. Henderson to take his base. Let's see what's up with Brad Adam. What do you have, Brad? That's a good plan. That is a good plan. Thank you, Brad. Take 1 to Morrison. Single to right. That was in the 4th inning. Also in the 4th inning. Reached on an error by the shortstop VR. So 2 at bats in that 28-minute, 12 men to the plate inning. Buchanan, second pitcher used tonight by Houston. His Lomo swings through 1-2. Chopper. Gonzalez will take care of. Goes to Carter, and that will do it for the Mariners in the 6th. As they enjoy this 8-2 lead with Taijuan Walker coming back out. Thank you, Brad. Matt Dominguez leading off in the bottom of the 6th.
Curveball.
Yes, it was.
We showed you Brandon Maurer getting loose in the bullpen. Taiwan now is at 87 pitches, so this will definitely be his last inning if he can finish it.
You know what thing that's jumping out at me from what we saw earlier in the year? Arm speed, a lot different. Not telegraphing breaking ball. Remember he went through a couple of the appearances where it looked like he was telegraphing it?
Well, he would just slow everything down to throw it. You could pick it up. No, I would agree with that. I think that. Wow.
Yeah,
96 miles an hour on the corner. I think that trip back to the minor leagues for a period of time did him some good again. You go back and you reflect on it, and then you come back up here and you just cut it loose like he does on this fastball, throw it by him. I was wondering what we're going to see out of him tonight since he's been in the bullpen, because out of the bullpen, this is exactly what he has done. And he hasn't changed. He's been very aggressive. And I think, again, the conversations he's had with Rick Waits and Lloyd McClendon about being aggressive and getting after it is what he has done tonight. Next pitch will be 90 for him.
Break one to Marwin Gonzalez, the second baseman this evening. Altuve DHing. That strikeout was Taiwan's 7th. He's walked 2. Brandon Maurer getting ready. One to Gonzalez, who singled to center and bounced out to first. Jorge De Leon warming up for Houston. Trying to get back in the count here to Gonzalez. And he does. 3-2. Houston's 2 runs, both accounted for by Dexter Fowler. RBI single in the first, another in the 5th.
I like the fact, too, that he is now at 95 pitches and his fastball still at 96 miles an hour.
Three and 2 here to Gonzalez. Center field right at Jackson. 2 outs. Ride with all your fans on Sound Transit and enjoy freedom from traffic and parking. Plan your next trip. Visit soundtransit.org. And Lloyd's seen enough. Going to get his young right-hander out after 5 2/3. Taiwan did a heck of a job. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Giving up 2 runs on 8 hits. He'll take his lead. He's in line to get a win. inning, but want to save him for next week, Mike.
No more off days. They're going to need him, but I thought it was great what he did tonight. Really aggressive with his fastball, eventually able to get to his changeup. That's a good cutter off of the outside corner. And you can see he's in trouble. Bases are loaded. He had a couple of walks in the inning. It looked like things might get away from him, but he comes back. Just overpowers a couple of the Astro hitters with some good fastballs, top of the strike zone. 2 strikeouts right there. And eventually this lazy fly ball out to center. For Walker, 5 2/3, 8 hits. Couple of runs, they were earned. Only 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 96 pitches, 66 of those were strikes.
17 of 25 first pitch strikes.
Exactly what you want to do against the Astros. Stay ahead of them. Brandon Maurer going to take over. Hard throwing right-hander.
And this one hammered into the corner by Marisnik. A 2-out double. Check out a chase call to the bullpen and brings us to Brandon Maurer.
And his number's a 4.87 ERA, 49 strikeouts, 19 walks on the year. Opponent's hitting 264 off of him. Greeted rudely with a first pitch fastball at 95 miles an hour, but Marisnik short hops the fence and left for a double. Now we get the number 9 hitter VR, the shortstop.
VR's bounced into a double play and struck out. Break one. Through Zunino down to third. There's Marisnik.
That'll be a wild pitch. Like a slider in the dirt.
Brandon throws a wild pitch. Be his second this season. One and one the count. To Jonathan VR. Up
Watch
the
out.
middle. Woof. Almost shaved him. RBI for VR is 25th. Scoring easily as Marisnik.
96-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. And he hits it right back at Brandon. Take a good look at it right here. You can see it right at his head. Woo. That'll wake you up.
Yes, it will. Ten hits now for the Astros. 8-3 lead Mariners. Chopper to Lomo takes him right to the bag, and that'll do it. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. To the 7th we go. Mariners lead 8-3. And Mike Zunino doesn't know it, but the boys got to him. Look at his helmet. Earlier in the game, Columbia Bank difference in the game. It's one of the most fun at-bats we've seen, Mike. He showed bunt a couple of times, and the count got to 2-1, and he goes, boom, a Z-bomb.
He gets a fastball in the middle of the plate, and he knew what to do with it. 21st home run on the year.
He just realized that one of the boys had got him with the gum on the helmet. That home run for Zunino is 21st.
There it is.
Saunders laughing. New pitcher for the Astros, their third of the evening, Jorge De Leon.
For De Leon, see what he's done this year. Just 3 innings of work, a couple of strikeouts, 2 walks. Michael Saunders going to lead things off the top of the 7th. For Saunders, he's been on base all 3 times, 2 walks and reached on an error.
He's looking for a hit now. Join the parade. Mariners have 10 hits, so do the Astros. It's a ball 1. Saunders, Zunino, and Miller in the 7th inning. Mariners with a run in the 3rd, 7 in the 4th. 12 men came to the plate, took them 28 minutes. 2 3-run homers, Zunino and Seager, with Cano adding an RBI single. Doing one. Like 2 to Saunders. Count evens, 2-2.
De Leon has a good arm. That last fastball at 95 miles an hour, right on the inside corner.
Full count. Max Stassi is the new catcher, replacing Jason Castro. Saunders on board again. 4th time. He's representing the great state of Washington from Yallop. Here in Houston, go M's. There they go, little guy. Here's Zunino, fly to right, 3-run homer to left, strikeout looking. Brings out the pitching coach.
Brent Strom going to have a conversation with the young right-hander. I think he's going to remind him, you throw 95 miles an hour, I want you to use that fastball a little bit more. I think young pitchers, and we've seen it, it's all over baseball. They get up here and they're not sure that their stuff is good enough, and they try to get a little too cute, and that's usually when they get into trouble.
Swinging a miss by Zunino. Fourth inning home run for Mike is 21st. Kyle Seager later homered his 24th. 2 home run leaders for the Mariners. Runner goes. Throw by Stassi. Got him.
Quick release from Stasi. And an accurate throw.
Good call by DJ Rayburn, second base umpire. One away with a 2-1 count to Zunino. Drives one to the gap. Mike Zunino. Good night for him. Digging for two. He is safe.
Good hustle, taking advantage of Dexter Fowler.
Boy, he didn't have any urgency on that one, and Mike picked it up.
We've seen it from VR tonight. Now Fowler in center field were just real casual about the way they're going about their business, and Mike hustling the entire way will pick up a double, so a couple of extra base hits for Mike Zunino, a double and a home run.
Not bad on the season, 21 homers and 20 doubles.
And take a look at it. Hits it out in the left center. And Fowler just kind of cruised over there, looked up, and was surprised to see Zunino running hard.
Actually, that was a third base umpire in the rotation making that call. It was Dan Bellino as DJ Rayburn went out center field.
See if Brad can pick up a hit. All right, 0 for 3 tonight. He had been swinging the bat well. Hasn't played in a few days, but back in the lineup tonight. That's a good fastball from Daniel at 95 miles an hour. Mariners tonight 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Oh, and 2. Fly ball towards that hill. Going back is Fowler. He's got room to make the play, and Zunino tags. He'll stand at third with 2 outs. With 2 outs, the most popular way to follow the Mariners' push to the postseason is with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. You can enjoy live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, the MLB TV game of the day, and more. Get At Bat for your smartphone or tablet from the App Store or visit Mariners.com.
Bring up Austin Jackson. Austin having a good night, 2 for 3. He has walked, so scored a run. Also picked up a stolen base.
8 runs, 11 hits, no errors with 7 men left for the Mariners. 3-10 and 2 for Houston. They've also left 7 men aboard. Strike 1, Austin. Detroit and Kansas City playing bottom 7 at KC. Detroit 10-0. Tigers have banged out 17 hits. Strike 2 to Jackson. And Oakland with a 3-1 lead over Philly in the 4th. 1-2 to Austin with 2 outs and a man at third. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Ground ball to VR. Strong throw. He's got the great arm. He retires Jackson. Mariners leave a runner stranded. Bottom of the 7th coming up in an 8-3 lead for the Mariners. Lottery and the Department of Imagination. What would you do if you won? We begin the final 10 games of this 2014 season. The Mariners enjoy a big lead, 8-3, first of 3 here in Houston. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and the Root Sports crew. It's been a good night offensively. A couple of 3-run homers that go back in the 4th inning. Zunino and Seager. Cano adds an RBI. Ackley's hit an opposite field home run. Good work for Taijuan Walker at 5 2/3, and Brandon Maurer presses on here in the 7th.
Well, things have worked out pretty well for the Mariners so far in this one. Walker was able to throw a lot of strikes, a lot of first pitch strikes tonight. And of course, the Mariners providing some early run support, scoring the 7 runs in the 4th inning.
Mark Krause pinch hitting. Cano, nice and easy, throws him out, 1 away. Felix Hernandez coming off a strong performance last night, got a no decision. To compare his numbers to Chris Sale.
Yeah, I think Chris Sale just missed too much time this year. Felix out in front, all those categories on Sale. You can see his innings where he sits at 30th compared to Felix 2nd in the American League.
Felix with a record 14-5. And then his 13 no decisions, an ERA of 1.90.
ERA, Felix ERA continues to go down. He's having a great month of September.
Felix #1 in ERA, 4th in K, 2nd in innings pitched.
1st in WHIP.
Good stuff. Maurer's got Chris Carter 0-2. Carter fly to right, walk, bounced into a double play. Two and 2 to Carter. 27,568 here in Houston this evening. Couldn't hold on.
It's a good cut fastball from Maurer. 90 miles an hour.
Two and 2. Struck him out. 2 away.
Fielding independent pitching. Felix has the edge on Chris Sale. And if you take a look at the WAR numbers, Felix 2nd.
I like his chances for his 2nd career side.
Oh, I think he's well out in front.
What a good night for Dexter Fowler. 2 for 3. He's knocked in 2 of the 3 runs by Houston, for Houston.
You were talking about it last night with Felix and his ERA and no decisions. It was something around a 1.9.
That's exactly what it is. 13 no decisions, 85 in the 3rd innings. Giving up 18 runs, a 1.90. Crazy. Yeah. 0-2. Way outside.
It's another year that, with the way that he has pitched, he could easily have 20 wins on the season.
No question about it. He's 14-5. Even if he just goes 6, halvesies right there. It's 20. One-two pitch. Almost plays to Hopwell. Throws to Maurer, and Maurer, well done. On 1-2-3, 7th. The Ackley, Cano, and Seager scheduled in the 8th. Mariners lead 8-3. Time now for a Geico This State in MLB history. But Jamie Moyer won this state back in 01. His 18th win sets a career best 5-0 win against the Angels. Saw Jamie in Philly in August, part of their broadcast team. Great year in 01 for the Mariners. A regular season. Darren Downs takes over. Fourth pitcher this evening.
Darren Downs, 2-1 record, a 5.19 ERA, 27 strikeouts, 19 walks, a lot of walks in 34 2/3. Opponents hitting just 220 off of him. Only giving up 1 home run this year.
For Downs, we'll see Ackley, Cano, and Seager. Dustin tonight with his first opposite field homer this season. Home run number 12. 1 for 3. RBI. Runs scored and a walk. Ackley 1 for 1 against Downs. Worked outside, he missed 2-0. Downs out of Southfield, Michigan, 29 years old. His birthday the day after Christmas. Drives one deep to right. Ackley, a 2-run homer evening. Dustin Ackley leaves the yard again. 13 home runs on the season. It's a great sight. Ackley homers again. The Mariners have a 9-3 lead.
And again, the Mariner hitters taking advantage of counts in this one tonight. Ackley gets out front 2-0. 90-mile-an-hour fastball right on the inner half of the plate. You can see the catcher set up away. Didn't get it there. And Ackley a home run to left, and now this one out to right.
4 home runs tonight by the Mariners. That's a tough go out there for Marisnick. He was going to catch it anyway, but now the trainer coming out to check out Downs. So Ackley with 2 home runs. Home run by Seager and a home run by Zunino this evening. While we have this opportunity, we check in with Brett Adams. All right, Brad. Darren Downs had to leave the game. And we will take a break. Samuel Duduno coming in. And 9-3 is the Mariner lead here in the 8th. We take a look at our Delta Airlines keep climbing wild card standings. Kansas City and the Athletics. How about the Royals getting hammered right now, 10-0 at home to Detroit. That's in the top of the 8th. While the Athletics trying to stop their free fall. They're battling the Phillies tonight. And we'll keep you up to date on 3-1 Oakland, top of the 5th. Samuel Deduno, the former Minnesota Twin, takes over.
2-6 record, 4.75 ERA, 76 strikeouts, 44 walks. Opponent's hitting .262 against him. He's given up 9 home runs this year.
Well, just like the Mariner Moose, your youngsters will flip for Kids Appreciation Day. That's coming up Sunday, September 28th against the Angels. Not only will all kids take home a poster of baseball's best mascot, they'll also be automatically entered to win great prizes all game long, including Mariners autographed jerseys and baseball. Join the fun for Kids Appreciation Day, presented by Ivers and Kid Valley, when you stop by Mariners.com for tickets. Well, because of the injury to Darren Downs, Deduno will get as much time as he needs to get ready. John Lester pitching for the Athletics with the 3-1 lead, top of the 5th.
And it looks like he's ready. Robinson Cano due up.
Cano 3 for 10 against Deduno. Remember Deduno being an emergency starter 3 years ago in Minnesota, pitched a good game against the Mariners up in Minnesota, and then I remember another good performance he had at Safeco Field.
The knock on him is that he can get wild at times. Lose command of the strike zone and start walking guys.
3-hit night for Cano. Started tonight, the 6th leading hitter in the American League. On 1, 9 runs on 12 hits for the Mariners. They've left 8 men on base, 3 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, 7 men left, and those 2 errors back in the 7-run 4th, and both errors led to runs. 4 home runs by the Mariners tonight. Ackley, his 2nd multi-home run game in his career. Robbie goes chasing. First time the Ack Attack hit multiple home runs. It was May 11th of this year against Kansas City. A couple of solo home runs back in Seattle. Two and two. Two-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Hit to Carter. Flips to Deduno for the first out. Comes Kyle Seager. Had a good night. 2 for 4. Got a single to center in the 3rd and a 3-run homer in the 4th inning. Also struck out, bounced into a double play. One to Kyle.
Kyle didn't like that call at all. You can see him laughing about it.
Brian O'Nora, the crew chief, is the umpire behind home plate tonight. One. Drops it an off-speed pitch for strike 2. Shift on against Kyle as per usual. 1-2. Stazzy throws him out. Complete strikeout. 2 down. And here's Kendrys Morales. 0-for-2. He's walked twice. Plenty of offense tonight by the Mariners. Houston got off to 1-0 lead in the first. Fowler RBI single against Taijuan Walker. Third inning, Mariners tied it up. Home run by Ackley. And then the fourth inning, everything went kaboom.
And T. Medina getting loose in the pen.
Mariners got 7 runs, 6 of them earned. And 4 hits. It's the 2 errors and left 2 men aboard. 3-run homer Zunino, 3-run homer Seager, and RBI single Cano. We have a special note with Zunino coming up with runners at first and second, showing bunt, couldn't get it down. Then he got a 2-1 count and he hammered a home run. Deep left center field. We previously mentioned that Mr. Duduno has a tendency to be wild.
He likes to nibble off the edges. He throws a lot of cut fastballs. The left-handers, he likes to throw them away, try to sneak it on the outside corner.
That's the third baseman. Dominguez throwing out Kendrys Morales for out number 3. Getting highlighted by Dustin Ackley. Another home run, his second tonight. The Mariners have a lead of 9-3 with Uravis Medina getting ready. Three here in Houston as we begin the final 10 games of the season. And weekend matchups, the remainder looks like this. Our CenturyLink link to what's next. Veteran Chris Young looking for his 13th win, goes against Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel's been really good this year. And then Hisashi Iwakuma, looking to bounce back to his earlier season form, takes on Colin McHugh, and the Mariners have had trouble with him. So Mariners will be challenged here by the Astros, although they are blowing them out here tonight. New pitchers, Yorevis Medina.
2.29 ERA for Medina. 53 strikeouts in 51 innings. Good number for him. Opponent's hitting just .212. He's only given up 2 home runs this year. Good fastball, 95 miles an hour. Mix in a slider with it.
Medina can have a clean inning. He's going to face 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Max Stassi, who came in to take the place of starter Jason Castro, will lead off. Stazzi, Dominguez, and Gonzalez. Strike one. Oof. Flush on. Ryan O'Nora, the crew chief. Buying some time.
Make sure the bars are still straight. Take a look at it. It hits him right in the forehead.
Woo.
And it does. Medina throwing 95 miles an hour. You'll feel that one.
Like the Bayonne Bleeder. Didn't go down though. He didn't knock me off my feet. Breaking ball hit the center field for a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. Actually, more accurate would have been Jake LaMotta, who was rarely off his feet. Wepner was on his feet off his feet a few times. Not Dominguez, the third baseman. Dominguez 0 for 3, all of that against Taiwan Walker, including 2 strikeouts. Jumps on this pitch, hammers it foul. Crushed. With a dent in the scoreboard. Hit it so hard that Stassi has to hold it second. Medina greeted with 2 hard hit singles.
Tried to throw a couple of fastballs on the inside corner. He pulled the first one foul, and that one he was able to keep fair. Elevate a little bit more. Rick waits out to the mound, going to have a conversation with Medina. And it looks like Joe Beimel, the left-hander, getting loose in the pen. You take a look at the swing by Dominguez. Solid line drive off the scoreboard and left.
Base hit by Dominguez ended an 0 for 25.
There's Joe.
Marwin Gonzalez, the hitter. Switch hitting second baseman. 1 for 3 tonight. 12 hits for both teams. Strike one. Kansas City on the board. It's 10-1 Detroit, bottom 8 in KC. Oakland 3-1, top 6 in Oakland over the Phillies. Here's a dribbler to Seager. Take the out at first. Runners move up. One out, 2 on. Brings up Jake Marisnick. 2 for 3 night for Jake.
Well, the Mariners up 6 runs. They'll keep their infield back. Just trying to get out at this point.
Another charge here by Seager. Dug out by Morrison. Well played. 2 outs. Run does score. Yeah, putting on a clinic these last few weeks, isn't he?
Yeah, Marisnick thought he was safe, and Wallace out of the dugout. Take a look at the play by Kyle. That was closer than I thought. The run will score either way. Gets rid of it quickly. Accurate throw. Close play, though.
A lot of these slow rollers and choppers. Been very decisive.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the areas where I think he's improved the most. He's very aggressive. I talked to him about it. He said that was one of the things he worked on in spring training with Chris Woodward, the infield coach. I don't know. What do you think?
He's safe.
He's safe.
He's safe. Marisnick looks like he's going to pick up his 13th RBI. Well, he's going to get it either way. Doesn't matter if he gets a hit.
That's close.
It's very
Doesn't matter if
close.
there's enough there for them to change the call. They did call him out originally.
That one right there looked like it was safe.
I would agree.
There we go. Here's your verdict. Wow, he banged him out. All stands. 2 away. Does get the RBIs. That wasn't going to change. No hit for Marisnick.
So Medina will get the second out of the inning. Marisnick picks up an RBI.
Then at 40 on the challenge.
Dominguez went to third on the play. Bring up VR. VR 1 for 3 tonight.
Two away, runner at third. Broken bat. Looper's going to pick up a run. Dana not where he was back in the middle part of the season.
Well, he's been struggling this month.
There are Big Sky fans, super fans, and then there are football fanatics. Root Sports sending one deserving fanatic and a guest to the 2015 Big Sky football game of their choice. Post a photo and story using the hashtag BigSkyFF. Show us why you're the Big Sky football fanatic. 9-5 ball game. Astros have now out-hit the Mariners 13-12. Runner goes. Breaking ball. Up high for the ball. The stolen base for VR. That's his 16th. To Robbie Grossman.
Farquhar has joined Beinel in the bullpen getting loose.
Good one. 6 men to the plate here in the 8th inning against Medina. Two and two, the count. Detroit closing in on putting Kansas City away. 10-1, bottom 9. That pitch way outside, 3-2. Mark Krause, on-deck hitter, grounded out to second. Took out Tuve's place and took him out when the lead ballooned. Altuve a 3-for-3 night. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Medina needed that big time. 2 runs, 3 hits. No errors. And a man left. It's a 9-5 Mariner lead as we go to the 9th. All right, Brett, thank you very much. Here's Logan Morrison, who extended his hitting streak to 5 games with a 4th inning single. Hero last night with a big 3-run homer. Samuel Deduno continues, the 5th pitcher today, used by the Astros. Two and one. Morrison, Saunders, and Zunino here in the 9th. Three balls, 1 strike.
Saunders, yeah, waiting on deck. He wants to swing the bat. He's walked 3 times tonight.
Romo will take the walk. He's on base for the 3rd time tonight. Saunders walked, reached on an error and scored, walked and walked. Strike 1. Got a battle here 0-2. Celebration hangover still lingering in Anaheim. Rangers 7-0, top of the 4th.
You know who started that game for Anaheim? Any idea? I know that Weaver obviously was bumped yesterday.
Goodness, yes, there's no way.
I don't know if he's going to do that with all the guys. Just try to figure out what he wants to do in the postseason.
Sure.
And rest some guys. I would imagine even in that series against the Mariners end of the year, if they do pitch, just be a few innings, probably give them 4 or 5 innings and get them out.
Angel Santiago started. Vinny Pastana, Herrera, Bedrosian right now.
1 inning, 6 earned runs. Did I see that?
For Santiago, yeah. 1 inning, 7 hits, 7 runs, 6 earnings. Oh, yikes. Somebody the one that gave it up big the night before we got there, I believe it was. Who was it? One of those. They threw 84 pitches, 82 pitches, 44.
I think it was him. I think you're right.
44 balls. Starters, the regulars had nominal appearances in that game once it got out of hand. 7-0 after 2 innings. 2-2 here to Saunders. Nobody out and on. Saunders breaking ball. That's the break. Stassi couldn't hold on to that foul tip. Saunders looking for his first base hit tonight. All the way. Michael will try to make the best of pitch number 9 coming up here. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second. Almost in there with a stolen base. It's his 5th of the year. Saunders strikes out.
We're talking about it early in the game. Logan runs well for a big man. Pretty good jump. That is a straight steal, never looked in. I see the catcher rushing his throw. One hopper down there now. James Jones is going to pinch run for Morrison. Now we get a smoke. We'll go in and play defense.
Morrison, good night for him.
I still believe that James Jones had a big effect on that 9th inning yesterday.
Well, no getting away from it.
Came on as a pinch runner. Pitcher ended up making a throwing error, and he distracted the infielders and the pitcher when he was out at second base, still worried about him.
Here he goes. He got a great jump, throw it, and Stasi bobbles. Another stolen base for Jonesy. It's number 27. He's been caught once.
Well, Mike Zunino with 3 RBIs going to have a chance to pick up a 4th. Now he just needs to put the ball in play. We'll take a look at James Jones as he dives into 3rd. Astros will bring their infield in. They have the shift on too.
2-0.
Everybody swung around to the left side. 3-0 count. Brad Miller waiting on deck.
Rio to Mike Zeep. But he might reach the rafters.
It's close. He ended up hitting it in the upper deck foul.
Three-one pitch. Count runs full. Three-two. Check him out. 2 away. Third strikeout for Reduno. Jones at 3rd. Make your voice heard. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag RootFanFave. Watch the Mariners pregame show every Sunday. Find out the top 5 fan favorite plays of the week. For official rules, visit rootsports.com. 2-out RBI opportunity here for Brad Miller. 0 for 4 this evening. He gets away. Jones started back. He's going to come to the plate, and he's going to score standing up. Fastball. 10-5 ball game.
It's an off-speed pitch, 83 miles an hour, but it's actually in the strike zone across his home plate. He just missed it.
10-5 lead. Tap it down to Chris Carter. Feeds to Duduno. Mariners are done in the ninth. They have a 10-5 lead. 3 outs away from putting this in the books. For Mariners and their fans, a 10-5 lead. Let's check out the latest in a wild card situation. Delta Airlines keep climbing. Kansas City
gone final.
Yep. And the A's continue to play. They're playing the Phillies right now. And the Athletics have a 3-1 lead, bottom of the 7th in Oakland. Mariners going to pick up a full game on Kansas City.
Joe Beimel's going to take over his 53rd appearance on the year. Joe has really pitched well this year for the Mariners. 3-1 record, a 1.91 ERA for Joe. Opponents hitting .234 against him.
Joe Beimel looking for the last 3 outs. Got a pinch hitter. It's Gregorio Petit.
Yeah.
Popped up, playable. Smoke. The new first baseman makes the play, 1 out.
And Lloyd McClendon out of the dugout. Looks like he's going to make a pitching change with Chris Carter due up, the right-hander. So a quick evening for Joe Beimel.
I'll say, jeez, threw more pitches out in the bullpen than he did in the ball game.
Danny Farquhar.
Danny Farquhar will take over. He'll go after Chris Carter. Mariners have a 10-5 lead. Hell, I'd have left Joe in there. Let him go get it. If he hits one 9 miles, who gives a shit? 3. CenturyLink link to what's next. Tomorrow's starters. Good pitching matchup. Chris Young and Dallas Keuchel.
Keuchel, if he's on, he's going to see a lot of ground ball outs from Keuchel. He's pitching well. He's pitched well for him this year. 11-game winner for the Astros. ERA right at 3.
Keuchel coming off a big effort. 7 innings, a 1-run ball, 3 hits in Anaheim. His last start earlier in the week.
Danny Farquhar going to take over. His 62 appearances on the year, 2.60 ERA, 73 strikeouts over 65 and 2/3. Opponents hitting .222 off of Danny.
Lloyd matching him up, righty against righty. And Chris Carter, the hitter.
Nobody else getting loose in the pen right now. Danny, good fastball, 94 to 95 miles an hour. His cutter will be around 89, 90. 12-6 curveball and a changeup.
Carter 1 for 3 against him. And 1. Ball 2. And 1. Danny hand in mind. North Lloyd, 1-out walk in the 9th. Fowler over the first 2 runs for Houston. 2-out RBI single in the first. And then he got a single in the 5th. It's Taijuan Walker.
See Rick Waits calling out to the bullpen. Nobody up yet, but I'm sure there's some bodies moving around out there.
Foul ball. 1-2 to Fowler.
And Rodney.
Blew it by him. Strikeout of Fowler by Danny Farquhar. 2 away here in the 9th.
Good cutter on the outside corner.
Max Stassi. Second at bat, he got a base hit in the 8th. Breaking ball. Moving down to second. This Chris Carter. Good wild pitch. 2-1. Danny not sharp here tonight.
Now 13 pitches, just 5 strikes from Danny.
The 3-1 pitch. Chance ended right here for Farquhar. 10-5 Mariner lead. Danny's pitch got him looking, and the Mariners win it 10-5 to go 3-2 on this road trip. And they gained some ground in the wild card standings, actually, with a 2-home-run night. 4 home runs on the evening by the Mariners. Good stuff.
And Kyle Seager with a 3-run homer. Zanino with a 3-run homer. Taijuan Walker, good job by Walker tonight. He'll end up getting the win in this one. He's starting to do that a lot against the Astros. His turn always comes up against Houston, but he pitched well. Good to see some Mariner offense scoring the 10 runs, and they do. They pick up some ground on Kansas City. We'll have to wait and see what happens in that Oakland game. Oakland's still ahead 3-1. But the good news, the Mariners get another win.
That's what it's all about. Pack on those wins. Just keep bringing them and bringing them. Our Mariners post-game show presented by Delta Airlines right now with Brett Adam and Bill Kruger. Fellas.